Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why I believe Andy on base will be reaching 20 cents very soon. And I really do believe this token will be approaching the 1 billion plus market cap, which would take us to roughly about a 50x, right? So let's go into it. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. Base is a chain that I am betting really heavily on. Base is a layer 2 to Ethereum, and for all those that are not aware, Base is actually Coinbase's blockchain, right? So you should be bullish just with that alone. We have come across multiple Andys. I do want to mention that there's an Andy on Base, ETH, and Solana, I believe, and Blast. But I do want to go ahead and show you a few charts. But before we go into the charts, I want to go ahead and go over their Twitter and see how active they are and what they actually just have been doing the last recent days. So the last 21 hours, they've actually went ahead and donated to a animal charity. It's what it looks like. So they raised over $1,000, which is pretty cool. They have been connecting with other influencers to go ahead and push the project, which is good. Lets us know that the team is really using the funds that they have for marketing pretty well. And they have been really active. They're always constantly making memes, getting pretty good engagement. And most specifically, they're collaborating with other influencers, right? Big influencers, which is a good sign for growth in a project. And what I love the most about Andy on Base is the growth that we have been seeing, right? Especially on the charts. For all those that have been following me for a while, you know how bullish I am on the charts alone on Andy. But this is Andy right here. At the current time of this video, we are sitting at a 19 million plus market cap. I've actually been talking about Andy on Base since back at these levels right here. So congratulations to all of those that were part of that run up with me. And I've been talking about this since on my Discord, right? So go ahead and feel free to join my Discord down below in the description, completely for free, where I go ahead and share a lot of alpha. But these last couple days, especially in one of my recent videos, we talked about this POC, point of control, with a fixed volume indicator. We talked about this level of resistance right here, slash area of, actually it was an area of resistance because we were struggling to break this. And I did mention that there was two scenarios that were going to happen, right? We were to go ahead and struggle to break through this area. We were more than likely going to retest this bottom back over here. And it was just going to take us a little bit longer to go ahead and come up even higher. But luckily, we didn't do that. We actually went ahead and broke through that pretty well. We did take a few days to go ahead and break that, but right now it's looking really juicy, and we're at 19 million plus market cap, right? Our all-time high has been 28 million. Keep that in mind, 28 million. And I do believe that our next target will be approaching towards that 20 cent mark. So if you're like, John, what market cap is that? Well, if we're at, like, let's say 19 million market cap, and we were to go ahead and do a 10x, that will go ahead and take us to 190 million market cap. If I did my math correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, which is not too impossible. I mean, keep in mind we have a very low supply compared to the one on ETH. Our holder count has been growing like freaking crazy, which is a good sign. 24-hour volume is not too bad. And one thing that I did mention is that you could just see the organic growth alongside with the team pushing to really go ahead and keep this chart really well. Like, so far, technical analysis has been pretty much on point with Andy on Base, right? You could tell when a project or a team is just constantly dumping on their community. And if the team is selling, they're doing it in a very healthy behavior, in my opinion, where they're actually, giving a chance for new investors and new community members to go ahead and grab a bag. With that being said, it's actually looking really bullish right now. I did talk about this pattern being a possible cup and handle pattern right here, and it looks like it is forming. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can hold this area of support within this range of about 19, let's just go ahead and call it 17 million market cap. Do keep in mind we could go ahead and slightly dump. We did have an initial nice little run up of over 100%, which is about a 1x. So don't be surprised if we do go ahead and try to stay in the zone for a little bit before having that major breakout to the upside. But so far, it looks like this is a nice area of support, and we are holding up pretty well. And as I mentioned, I do believe our next target in the coming weeks, maybe months. It just depends on how quick the community pushes this. We could be reaching that 19-cent mark, which will take us to a 9 to 10x, depending on where you buy, right, and where the market really corrects to. But if you're looking to go ahead and load up on Andy on base, make sure to go ahead and check out Blofin exchange. We could go ahead and load up on ETH with no KYC. Literally takes less than 3 seconds. Link down below in the description. And if you want to know, like, John, I'm sold, how do I buy some Andy on base? I'm going to go ahead and attach a video right here. You should see a link pop out right above it, and it's going to show you how you could go ahead and buy base tokens. As I mentioned, I do believe base will be the next move. And I do want to also mention that the holder count has been growing like freaking crazy. I've been talking about Andy on base since under, I think, 12,000 holders. So it's a good sign to go ahead and see how quickly we have been actually growing. And I'll take that back. It hasn't been quickly, because it's actually been taking some time for us to get to where we're at. So I'm really excited to what the team has been doing so far. If you actually head over to Andy on base, you do go ahead and see a lot of these influencers, bigger than what my channel is, talking about Andy on base, right? Back when I started talking about it, there wasn't that many people. There was probably like 2 or 3 people, and it's good to go ahead and see that now you literally type in Andy on base, and Andy on base is popping out everywhere, right? So do expect Andy to continue to have a massive run up. A lot of people are like, John, what about Andy on ETH? What about Andy on Blast? What about Andy on Solana? I'm like, dude, I don't know. If you don't know which one's going to be the winner, just go ahead and throw your money on all of them. For me, I believe Andy on base is going to be the move, but I also believe that we do have some sort of correlation with the Andy on ETH. I've noticed that whatever good success Andy on ETH does, technically, usually we go ahead and follow, right? And I've kind of realized there's some inverse correlation that every time Andy on ETH pumps, Andy on base dumps, and vice versa. Every time Andy on ETH dumps, Andy on base pumps. So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of lagging a little bit behind, but keep in mind, Andy on ETH hit over 180 million market cap and had influencers from the start push this project. Andy on base was the other way around. There was literally no influencers. There was very small creators pushing it. As I mentioned, I was probably like the 2nd or 3rd creator talking about Andy on base, and now there's a good handful of creators talking about it, right? So keep in mind that Andy on ETH is also listed on a few exchanges. So they quickly ran up to 180 million market cap and now has corrected ever since. If you actually measure this top to this bottom, that's over a 70% correction. We're going to go ahead and see where Andy on ETH goes. But as I mentioned, I do think that there's some sort of correlation on their success. Us knowing that Andy on ETH did about 180 million market cap, their supply is almost at $1 trillion. If I'm doing my math correctly, I believe their supply is at $1 trillion. What I do know is that their supply is a lot bigger than ours, right? So that alone already is a bullish sign for us on base. Their holder count on the decentralized exchanges is only 11,000 holders, right? But they do have a nice decent amount of volume at 3 million up on the 24-hour volume, and that's base, what I'm assuming mostly, because now we have the exchanges, right? So I'm not despising Andy on ETH. As I mentioned, I think Andy on base is going to be the winner. Time will tell. But what I could go ahead and say, based on Andy on ETH's success, 180 plus million market cap, we're not that far away. I mean, look, they're at 48 million right now, and we're at 18.94 million, right? So we're not that far away. We'll literally hit like a 3 or 4x, and we will reach them where they're at currently right now at this 48 million market cap. So I do believe our next target that we should be focusing on is trying to approach this 20 cent mark, which is going to be roughly anywhere between a 9 to a 10x on the short term. But I do believe a 40 to 50x is very possible on Andy on base. With that being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And all of you know, this is not financial advice. This is solely my opinion. I've been invested on Andy and ETH since literally around the 1 million market cap. So I'll go ahead and catch all of you on to the next one. Take care.